One of the biggest misconceptions people have about health is believing the body suddenly becomes sick overnight. Most of the time, the body has been communicating stress for a long time before things fully break down physically. This connects directly to yesterday's conversation about the body being both physical and electrical. Because if the body is constantly communicating, then dysfunction doesn't always start at the level of structure first. Sometimes it starts in communication. Think about it this way. If you're listening to a radio station and the signal starts getting weaker, you usually hear static before the station fully cuts out. There are subtle signs first, distortion, interference, disruption in communication. The body often works similarly. Long before disease develops physically, the body may already be showing signs of stress, dysregulation, imbalance, or overload happening beneath the surface. Maybe your sleep starts changing. Maybe your digestion feels off. Maybe your energy crashes more daily. Maybe you feel mentally exhausted all the time. Maybe you become more reactive to stress. Maybe your nervous system feels like it's constantly on. Maybe you don't feel like yourself anymore. And what's important to understand is that the body is incredibly adaptive. Okay, it will compensate for dysfunction for as long as it possibly can, which means many people stay in survival mode for years before something finally forces them to slow down and take notice. This is also why so many people feel frustrated when they're told everything looks normal, because dysfunction doesn't always immediately show up as disease. Sometimes the body is struggling long before conventional testing catches major physical changes. That doesn't mean conventional medicine is bad. That's not what I'm saying. There's absolutely a place for it. But it does mean there may be another level of information happening underneath the surface that people are not paying attention to yet. And honestly, I think this is where preventative awareness becomes so important, because what if we started listening to the body earlier, right? What if instead of waiting until things fully broke down physically, we paid attention to the subtle patterns happening in our body, the stress patterns, the nervous system overload, the emotional burden, the communication changes happening inside the body over time. A lot of people tend to think of symptoms as something physical, as something that is attacking your body. Sometimes symptoms are bottlenecks in communication happening inside the body. This is one of the things frequency-based wellness is trying to explore more deeply. Not how do we label disease, but more so, how is the body communicating before disease fully develops? Because the earlier we understand stress and imbalance, the more opportunity we may have to support the body before deeper dysfunction occurs. This is day 7 of my 21-day AO Scan Awareness series. Tomorrow, we're finally going to talk about how AO Scan actually applies this science and what the technology is doing during a scan.